Good day, everyone. Welcome to our personality development course. At the end of this session, you are expected to learn the following. Number 1, communicate with customers properly with pleasing personality. Number 2, understand the different kinds of customers and coworkers and avoid prejudices. Number 3, understand the importance of self-worth and confidence at work. And of course, appreciate the role of proper attitude for personal growth. Let's start! My simple definition of personality development is that it's a person's growth in a pleasant and proper ways in terms of attitude and manners that makes a person better and unique. While growth is influenced by peers, family, culture, genetics, and others. Okay, let's talk about personal presentation. And this is about the right posture and gesture. And as you speak, 55% is nonverbal communication and body language. 38% is your tone of voice, and only 7% are the words that we actually use, which means napaka-importante talaga ng nonverbal communication and body language kasi nga 55% siya eh. So, yung 38% is yung tono ng boses mo. 7% is kung ano actually yung sinabi mo. So, halimbawa lang, magsabi tayo, nag-thank you ka, sabi mo ay, thank you. So, pag thank you, parang galit ka naman nun. So, parang hindi pa rin thank you yung sinabi mo. Kahit na thank you yung sinabi mo, hindi pa rin yun ang lumalabas na meaning. Yun lang ang ibig sabihin natin, no? Doon sa right posture and gesture. So, ano ang mga dapat nating tandaan? Number 1, you must properly use movements as you express yourself to be an effective sales personnel. So, ibig sabihin, tamang movements ng ating katawan, ang ating gagamitin ng ating mga kamay, no? Number 2 is yung ating eye contact with customers throughout the sales process. It should create trust for both of you. The customer will feel at ease. Kailangan ma-feel ng customer na welcome na welcome siya. Halimbawa, good morning, ma'am. So, kung ikaw ay nag-good morning, nakasmile ka, di ba? So, pag nag-smile ka, welcome talaga siya. At ikaw ay nakatingin sa iyong customer. Sabi niya, good morning, ma'am. Hindi pwedeng, good morning, ma'am. Hindi pa rin siya welcome kasi nga, hindi ka nakatingin sa kanya. Okay? Number 3 is, you have to keep your arms on your side and be natural. Avoid crossing your arms. Huwag nating kinocross na ganito. Halimbawa, good morning, ma'am. Or kahit nakangiti ka, good morning, ma'am. Tapos nakakross pa rin yung arms mo, parang hindi pa rin siya welcome. So, usually, good morning, ma'am. No, open ang arms. And another thing na you have to remember, don't touch the customer, no? Huwag nyo naman silang hahawakan kung gusto nyo mag-good morning. There are customers na ang personality nila is ayaw nila nung hinahawakan sila. And your legs also, hindi nyo naman dapat siyang i-cross. Yung tinatawag nating parang nakakross siya or the 8 or the 4. Tapos naka-lean kayo masyado, yung masyadong nakalapit ang inyong katawan sa kanila, i-avoid din natin yon. You stand up straight and slightly leaning lang. Yes, ma'am, what can I do for you? So, medyo ang inyong movement ay kaaya-aya. And also, do not make noise by tapping things or moving parts of your body because such movements can mean that you are bored. Halimbawa, ang tagal umorder ni customer, meron kang ballpen na hawak, tapos tinatap mo sa table. So, ibig sabihin, ang tagal naman mag-order ni ma'am. So, nakikita nila yon. Or sabihin na natin, parang gumaganyan-ganyan ka na, no? Yung mga body movements. Parang inip ka na. O kaya, nagkakamot ka na. So, ibig sabihin lang nun, nabobore ka na and parang minamadali mo si customer. To continue on personal presentation, let's talk about the importance of self-confidence and ways how to improve it. Number 1 is avoid negative thoughts and influences and find a person that can mentor you in positive ways, whom you find successful in your field. So, ibig sabihin lang nito, kapag may naiisip ka ng, alam niyo yun, yung hindi maganda, at nag-isip ka ng negative about a person, burahin nyo na yun. Pag medyo nafe-feel nyo na parang nagagalit ka sa isang tao, halimbawa, maghanap ka ng isang bagay or mag-isip ka ng isang bagay na positive. Kung mausap na isang tao na masasabi nating pwede mo siyang gawing mentor dahil siya ay magaling sa ganung bagay. Halimbawa, Magaling siyang mag-counsel. Ito ang mga dapat mong gawin. Ito ang mga tamang gawin. So yung sinasabi nating person that you can trust, doon kayo magtanong sa kanila. Huwag doon sa mga taong sabi nga nila ay bad influence. Kasi nga, hindi yun makakatulong para sa inyong self-confidence. And another is be an expert on your products or services. Know your craft, take time to study, and learn from readings and trainings. Galingan nyo doon sa inyong produktong binibenta. At yung serbisyo nyo, dapat kayo yung magaling doon. Alamin nyo yung mga bagay, yung smallest details. Pag-aralan ninyo, mag-aral kayo, magbasa kayo, mag-attend kayo ng mga trainings. Kasi alam nyo, kapag alam nyo yung product or services na inyong binibenta, mas magiging confident kayo. Parang ano lang yan eh, parang estudyante, na kapag ikaw ay nag-review at marami kang alam, so pag nag-take ka ng exam, mas confident ka to take the exam. Okay? So another is, do not get nervous or intimidated. Be patient and avoid unnecessary movements. Halimbawa, meron kang customer na parang boss na boss o kaya mukhang ang yaman-yaman or malaking tao or politician. Tapos malakas ang boses or malaki ang boses. At kinausap ka. Ang sabi, sige nga, i-demo mo nga sa akin yung product mo. Tignan ko kung magaling ka dyan. Huwag kang kakabahan. Ibigay mo yung best mo. Sabi nga dapat, alam mo yung product mo. So, kapag na-demo mo yun ng maayos nang hindi ka ninenervyos, I'm sure mako-convince siya to buy your product. Another way is you dress up one step higher than the usual people that you meet, including your customers. Wear your proper dress. Depende rin kung ano yung business mo. Halimbawa, meron akong client na ang kanyang mga salesperson ay mga naka-necktie, tapos naka-polo sila. No? Very formal. Ang linis-linis nilang tignan. So, kagalang-galang ang kanilang itsura. Kaya naman ginagalang din sila ng customer. At naniniwala kung ano yung sinasabi nila. So, remember, ang isang salesperson ay hindi lang siya taga-benta. Ang salesperson ay isang consultant. Ibig sabihin, kapag may tinanong sa'yo, dapat alam mong sagutin at expert ka on that. And kailangan makita rin yon sa way ng pananamit mo. Pero halimbawa naman, ang inyong product ay mga sports product. Siyempre, hindi ka naka-necktie, no? Hindi ka naman naka-polo. Kundi yung wear according, no? Medyo sporty ang dating. So, dress up. Lastly, be clean and tidy with clean nails, hair, teeth, and other. So, ibig sabihin lang nito, yung ating mga kuko, kailangan hindi siya maitim, no? Walang mga dumi. Yung hair, hindi siya sabog-sabog. Hindi naman overly decorated. Maayos ang inyong buhok. Yung skin, hindi naman kailangang maputi, kundi kailangan lang ay malinis. At ang inyong ngipin, of course, mag-brush lang ng teeth. Sabi nga is personal hygiene ang kailangan. Plus, of course, yung odor. Gumamit ng deodorant or pwedeng cologne or perfume. Depende kung saan kayo komportable. Kasi may mga tao namang hindi mahilig mag-perfume. Ang importante, maganda ang amoy, maayos ang itsura. Okay, next on personal presentation is the behavior and attitude. We have to understand the type of customer that we have. Alam nyo, merong iba-ibang klase ng customer eh. Pag alam nyo kung anong klase siyang customer, mas alam nyo siyang pakisamahan. So, may isang klase ng customer na tinatawag natin na the bossy customer. Their voice is louder than the average voice and very confident. They also want quick response so they can make decisions quickly. So, ito yung mga customer na ma-intimidate ka kasi biglang, bibili ako niyan. Malakas ang boses, so parang nakakatakot sila. Nagmamadali. O, magkano yan? Dalian mo. So, ito yung mga customer na pag kinakausap tayo, parang medyo nenervyusin ka. So, ikaw naman, as a salesperson, how will you handle this kind of customer? Mag-relax ka lang. Maging efficient ka. Kailangan alam mo yung benefits na makukuha ng customer sa yung products or services during demonstration. Kasi magtatanong siya, sigurado ka ba dyan sa sinasabi mo? Anong isasagot mo? Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I'm sure po. And you will benefit from this product. So, mag-relax ka lang. Huwag kang matatakot sa kanila kasi it's just their personality, no? Walang personalan, ika nga. The bossy customer are impatient. So, kailangan yung mga sinasabi mo sa kanila, yung statement ay short lang and direct to the point. And I'm sure makakapag-close kayo ng sales. So, pag sinabi magkano to, sabihin mo agad kung magkano, no? Huwag ka na magpaligoy-ligoy. Sabihin, ma'am, alam niyo po ba? Or sir, mahal po yan sa kabila. Ang sasabihin niya, hindi ko naman tinatanong yung kabila eh. Ang tinatanong ko kung magkano to. The next customer is yung tinatawag natin the friendly customer. Etong friendly customer na to, these are the happy people that are always excited to learn from your expertise. Most of the time, they want guidance and opinion on the purchase and sometimes ask personal questions. They take time and usually not in a hurry. So, eto naman yung customer na masasabi natin na ang sarap bentahan. Bakit siya masarap bentahan? Kasi nga, napaka-friendly. Alam mo yan, yung parang nakikipag-usap ka lang sa isang kaibigan o bagong kaibigan. Magtatanong siya, Miss, meron akong hinahanap eh. Pwede ka bang mag-suggest sa akin? So, from their voice pa lang, nakikita nyo na napaka-friendly niya. Sasabihin niya, magkano naman to? So, imagine nyo yung parang pag friendly customer, pati yung tono ng boses niya, parang ang bait-bait. So, friendly customer talaga to, no? At minsan pa, sa sobrang friendly, saan ka nakatira? Anong probinsya mo? Medyo personal questions. Pero still, you can answer, ay ma'am, galing taga Zamboanga po ako. Ang mga parents ko is from Mindanao. So, pwede nyo silang sagutin. So, from there, nabubuo na yung relationship nyo. Ang customer mo ay mas gumagana ng loob sa'yo. Ibig sabihin lang nun, pag komportable siya, if you can make the customer feel comfortable and you are friendly to them, tapos dinemo mo pa yung iyong product at maganda ang pagkakasabi mo or pagkakademo ng iyong product, definitely they will buy. Kasi alam nila na totoo ang sinasabi mo. Kasi kinonsider kanila as their friends also. The next type of customer is the emotional type of customer. They usually buy based on their feelings. If they feel good, they will buy even products or services that they do not need. However, kapag hindi naman maganda yung pakiramdam nila, if they do not feel good, sometimes, no, kahit kailangan nila yung products, they will not buy it. Even, sabi nga, even if they need it. Kasi nga, hindi nila nagustuhan. Halimbawa, hindi nila nagustuhan yung presentation mo or parang medyo masungit ang dating mo or na-offend sila, hindi sila bibili kahit kailangan nila yon. Pero, kung maganda ang presentation mo ng iyong product or service, minsan, nadadala mo sila, no? Ibig sabihin, natutuwa sila sa'yo. Since na natuwa sila sa'yo, sometimes hindi naman nila kailangan, bibili nila. However, the emotional customer can influence others too in positive and negative ways. Why? They can make or break your business. Kasi eto yung magsasabi na, alam nyo, ang ganda ng product and service nitong certain company na to. Or ang ganda ng kanilang customer service. Kasi nga emotional siya, natuwa siya sa ikikwento niya yun. However, kapag hindi naman niya nagustuhan, siya na rin yung magsasabi na huwag na kayong bumili dyan. Hindi maganda ang product dyan. Or hindi maganda ang customer service dyan. So, minsan, umaabot pa yan sa social media. Yan yung type of customer na tinatawag nating emotional. So, paano tayo magko-close ng sales sa isang emotional customer? Build good relationship with emotional customers and be patient on how they will respond or react during the presentation and demonstration. So, minsan may tatanong yan or minsan baka medyo ang dating sa inyo na insulto kayo. Just be patient to them. Kasi it's their personality eh. Kung ano yung gusto nilang itatanong nila yan nang hindi sila mahihiya. Gayun din, they usually buy once they get satisfied with your answers to their queries. If you answer them politely with expertise, walang problema. Emotional customer will buy from you. The next type of customer is the checker. The checker is not easy to please. Most of the time, they know a lot of things about your product or service and sometimes they even know about your company and your competitor. So, sino ba tong checker na type na customer? Ito yung customer natin na magagaling. Sila yung perfectionist. Sila yung minsan, mas nakakaalam pa nung product na binibenta mo. So, kailangan meron ka talagang sinasabing expertise on your product. Kasi pwede niyang sabihin sa'yo na mali ang sinasabi mo kasi mas alam niya. You know, sana nga, lagi niyo isipin na sana checker ang dumating sa aking customer. Kasi doon ko matitest kung gaano talaga ako kagaling. about my product or service. Kaya kapag may checker type of customer ka, i-welcome nyo siya at matuwa kayo na merong ganong customer. And sometimes, they can even educate you. Tuturuan pa kayo. Kasi nga, mas marami siya or alam or mas wide ang kanyang kaalaman tungkol sa inyong product or service. Now, how do we close a sale to the checker type of customer? Remember, perfectionist siya. So, be patient. Wait for the customer to make a decision. And sometimes, it takes longer than usual. Mag-antay lang kayo. Sometimes, haabuti siya ng mga 30 minutes. Minsan, 1 hour or more. And definitely, bibili rin siya. Kasi yun yung way niya to check kung tama ba yung decision niya in buying your product or services. Maging pasensyoso lang kayo or pasensyosa. And then, do not try to please them with impossible claims and promises. Huwag magsisinungaling kung anong capacity ng inyong produkto or yung service na mabibigay ng inyong company. Okay? So, let's proceed. Keep in mind that most of our customers will have mix of these personality types of customers. Minsan, may pagka-checker siya na may pagka-friendly. Perfectionist siya, pero friendly siya. Or sometimes, emotional siya na perfectionist, or bossy siya na emotional. In other words, meron silang dominant personality type of customer na more than one ang kanilang personality type. However, kung familiar ka, if you're familiar with these core personalities, you should be able to tailor your selling strategy to fit any situation you come across. Ibig sabihin lang nito, kapag kilala mo kasi si customer, alam nyo kung paano siya i-approach. Alam nyo kung ano ang way of selling to them. Okay? Shall we proceed? Let's proceed to the next. Let's talk about the proper verbal and facial expression. Now, facial expression are not only your eyes. It also includes your mouth, your nose and nostrils, your forehead, your neck. So, ano ibig sabihin nito? Kapag nagpag-usap kayo kay customer, kailangan nakatingin and expressive ang iyong eyes. Yung mouth, iwasan natin yung mumuso. Di ba? May tendency tayong nag-move ang mouth kasi baka merong ibang interpretation ang kanyang masagap bilang isang customer. Baka akala, di ba, humingi ka. So, ibig sabihin, parang disappointed ka o naiinip ka dito sa kausap mo. Kapag yung nose mo naman, medyo parang hindi ka interesado sa sinasabi. No? Medyo yung nostrils mo, nag-o-open. Yung forehead mo, baka mamaya kumukulot na siya. No, pag kumukulot kasi yung forehead mo, parang you are in doubt. Parang sinasabi mo na hindi totoong sinasabi nitong kausap ko. Dapat ng customer yon, kailangan makikinig ka. Okay? Your neck, kailangan relax din siya. No, hindi yung panay baling-baling mo ng iyong neck. Hindi mo siya masyadong dapat minumove kasi mayroong negative communication yung pagbabaling-baling ng neck. Okay? So, you just have to relax when talking. Show that you are pleased and excited to share knowledge to your customer. Yun lang ang ating gagawin sa verbal and facial expression. You're always excited, ma'am, I want you to see our product and these are the features and benefits. Just relax and avoid unnecessary movements. Okay? So, next to that, we have to focus to the customer's queries. Kung ano yung tanong niya, yun din ang ating sasagutin. Okay? Halimbawa, nagtanong, how much is this? Or magkano to, miss? Magkano to watch? How will you answer? Ma'am, that watch is only 10,000 pesos.
Huwag niyong sasabihin na, ay ma'am, mahal po yan eh. Pag sinabi niyong mahal po yan, ang interpretation ni customer, sinasabi mo na, ma'am, hindi niyo kayang bilhin yan. Okay? So, ibig sabihin nun, you are insulting the customer. Pag tinanong kung magkano, sabihin niyo kung magkano. So, answer directly. Another is, you identify and address the customer's needs. Kung ano ang need ni customer, alamin nyo. Halimbawa, nagtatanong, Miss, kailangan ko kasi ng pangregalo sa binyag or dedication ng 1-year-old na baby. Ano nga ba ang mga products na pwede sa isang 1-year-old? Medyo imposible kung mga gadgets, no? So, ibig sabihin nun, you find a product na fit for 1-year-old. Another is identify and respond to the implied needs. Ano ibig sabihin nito? Minsan kasi si customer, meron silang kailangang bilhin, pero hindi pa nila alam exactly kung ano yung gusto nilang bilhin. So, kaya tinatawag natin siyang implied. How will you identify it? Halimbawa, ang sabi niya ay, medyo confused ako eh. I need something na matutuwa ang aking husband. Okay, so, hindi pa niya alam kung ano yung product na yon. And you are there to guide the customer. And you can show products na pwede sa kanyang husband. So, help them. Remember, a salesperson is a consultant. Minsan, ang tinatawag pa nga, sales doctor. Bakit sales doctor? Kasi, you are helping the customer buy. You are not just selling. You help them buy, you provide their needs, you provide their wants.
Next, on focusing to customer and responding to queries is create a standard way of answering common questions. Halimbawa, si customer nagtanong, Miss, among your products, alin dito ang pang 15 years old? So, let's say merong salesperson 1, salesperson 2, salesperson 3. Ang sasabihin ni salesperson 1, Mama, ang maganda pong product ay yung product A. Ang sabihin ni salesperson 2, Ma'am, ang magandang product ay yung product B. Ang sabihin ni salesperson 3, Ma'am, ang magandang product ay yung product C. Wrong yon, no? So, ibig sabihin, standard answer. Pag sinabing pang 15 years old, ang sasabihin lahat ng salesperson 1, 2, and 3, halimbawa, ang talagang best product is product B. Pare-pareho kayo ng sagot. Okay? So, let's move on relationship with co-workers and supervisors. Number 1 is, you have to develop your social skills. Ibig sabihin lang nito ay, makipag-usap kayo. You communicate with your co-employees. Be natural. You socialize with them. You develop relationship with them through communication. Kausapin nyo sila. Pwede nyong i-greet sila in the morning. Good morning, everyone. So, pag nag-good morning kayo, positive na yon, no? You listen well and make it a habit. Kapag may kasama kayo sa trabaho na nagsasalita at kinakausap kayo, huwag kayong agad nagka-cut ng conversation. Habang nagsasalita siya, antayin yung matapos siya sa kanyang sinasabi, and then, tsaka kayo sasagot. Another is you build your social life. How will you build your social life? May mga events na online na. Pwede tayong mag-attend via Zoom. Among our peers or among our coworkers kapag may meeting. Minsan nga, di ba, meron tayong dinner over Zoom or via Zoom. Sabay-sabay kayong kumakain. That is also part of socializing. Yung iba naman, ang kanilang way of socializing is yung tinatawag natin sa mga group chat or GC. That is a way of socializing. And another way kapag ikaw ay nasa office or nasa trabaho, make it a habit na kapag merong ginawang favor sa'yo, halimbawa, may inabot sa'yong papel or may isang report na sinubmit, sabihin nyo thank you. You say thank you for a favor. Even sa pag-receive lang ng isang report or anything. Make it a habit. Thank you. Wala namang mawawala sa atin kung magti-thank you tayo, di ba? Tapos masaya pa yung buhay natin. At mapapasaya mo pa yung taong sinabihan mo ng thank you. Huwag nating tipirin ang salitang thank you. You avoid negative thoughts. Ano ba yung negative thoughts na pumapasok sa isip mo? Example is, nako, pinag-usapan na nila ako. Halimbawa, may nakita kang nag-uusap sa isang gilid, no? Sabi nyo, nako, ako na naman ang pinag-uusapan nila. So, negative thoughts yon. Pag naisip mo yon, ang sabihin mo, hindi ako yon. Or, masama itong iniisip ko, hindi totoo itong iniisip ko. Just be friendly. Pag negative thoughts, think positive. Magbasa ka ng magandang quotes or kumanta ka ng masayang song para maging positive ulit ang mood mo. Or tumingin ka ng photos na masasaya, family photos. Or alalahanin mo yung masasayang panahon na kasama mo yung mga coworkers. Iwasan natin ang negative thoughts kasi walang maidudulot na maganda sa atin. Okay? Shall we proceed? Now, how you will keep a positive outlook and relationship. Ito, importante. Kasi sa personality development, kapag positive ang outlook mo sa buhay, ang growth mo as a person is faster kung ang outlook mo ay positive. Hindi ka masyadong nag-iisip ng mga negative thoughts, hindi ka masyadong nag-worry. Para positive ang outlook mo sa buhay and maganda ang relationship mo, kailangan you have to protect yourself from negativity. And how is it? Become aware of what you are thinking. Ibig sabihin nun, naiisip ka na sabihin na natin hindi magandang pag-iisip. I-cut nyo na yon yung pag-iisip na yon. Kasi hindi yun makakatulong sa inyo. Huwag na kayo mag-isip ng hindi magandang bagay. Halimbawa, may ginawang hindi maganda sa inyo. Ang tendency nyo, gusto nyo gumante, di ba? So, wag na kayong gumante. Okay? Next is, manage your own feelings. Siyempre, kapag may negative thoughts, masama ang loob mo. So, paano mo i-manage yung ganyang pakiramdam? Isang sikreto na ginagawa ng marami, yung tinatawag nilang quiet time. Mag-iisip siya, pero sa isang place, na tahimik at siya ay magre-reflect ng mga magagandang bagay para ma-manage niya yung kanyang feelings or probably makikinig ng magandang music or pupunta sa lugar na maganda ang kapaligiran, may dagat, may puno, may hangin, may lupa, may damo. Okay? So, isang pamamaraan yon para ma-manage mo rin ang iyong pakiramdam. Nakakatanggal kasi ng stress. Act positively on different issues. Maraming issue dumarating sa buhay as a person. No? Bilang tao, normal lang naman yun eh. You cannot please everybody. As long as alam mong tama ang ginagawa mo, just be confident on it. Hindi mo talaga mapiplease ang lahat. May bagay kang magandang gagawin, merong ibang tao na may inggit doon sa ginawa mo. Of course, kung hindi naman maganda gagawin mo, hindi naman maganda yon. So, better not do it. Okay? Ang tandaan lang ay positive thinking. Remember that, positive thinking on every issue. Act positively on every issue in your life para maprotektahan mo yung sarili mo sa mga negative things. Okay? Fellowship with positive people. Pili ka rin ng mga friends or mga tao na sasabihin nating, eto yung mga tao na nakapagbibigay sa akin ng magandang advice. Sila yung mga taong counselors. Sila yung mga taong masasabi kong mabuti ang advice na binibigay sa akin kapag may problema ako. You have fellowship with them. Kayo yung mag-gather together, probably on a limited number. You can share your problem to them, and then they will give you a positive advice. Now, another way is you can read good books. You can read some articles, and you can have also positive quotes, no? Pwede kayo magbasa ng mga positive quotes. Magbasa ng Bible. Sabi nga, it's a compilation of many books. At marami kayong matututunan from it. Different books. Aside from the Bible, marami pa. Mga articles na meron kayong mapupulot na aral. Well, lastly, don't forget to pray. Mag-pray. Walang mawawala sa atin kung mag-pray tayo. Pag nag-pray ka kasi, halimbawa may problema ka. Di ba? Pag nag-pray ka, you are communicating to God. So, pag nagko-communicate ka sa God, sinasabi mo sa Kanya yung problema mo, nare-release, gumagaan ang iyong pakiramdam. Ganon ka-importante ang prayer. Now, there are 4 types of working styles. Sa mga kasama natin sa trabaho, it could be a supervisor or co-employees. May iba-ibang klase ng working styles. Ang unang-una ay yung tinatawag natin na doer. So, yung doer, siya yung tinatawag din na driver. And this type of person or co-employees, they act on the project or problem immediately after understanding it. They are active and take on different challenges to achieve organization's goal. Ang maganda kay doer, siya yung taga-push sa isang organization or sa kanyang mga kasama sa workplace. Siya yung mabilis umaksyon. Halimbawa na lang, merong sales quota na nakaset for the month. Ang gagawin ni doer, okay, meron tayong dapat ma-achieve sa month na to. Ilan ba tayo ngayon? Hahati-hatiin niya yon. Kailangan every day, ito ang sales quota natin. Ang maganda sa kanya, taga-push siya, uy, magbenta ka naman. O ikaw, nakabenta ka rin ba? Parang medyo ang dating nga lang, bossy. Parang boss. Minsan, nami-misinterpret ang kanyang actions, sasabihin, mas boss ka pa kay boss. So, minsan, na-intimidate ka. Bakit ganyan siya magsalita? Parang nakaka-offend. Yun ang weak part ng isang doer. Nami-misinterpret siya sa way ng kanyang pagsasalita. And sometimes, dahil lagi siyang nagmamadali, nagkakaroon ng lack of planning. And sometimes, uncalculated risk. The next type of working style is the perfectionist. The perfectionists, they demand well-planned projects and wants to understand things before taking actions. They do not want to take risk as much as possible. So, ito yung mga kasama natin sa workplace na tinatawag na perfectionist. And usually, mahaba ang proseso. Kasi detalyado sila eh. Ayaw nilang magkamali. Ito yung mga coworkers natin na masyadong ang tawag natin ay meticuloso or meticulosa. Magandang kasama ang mga perfectionist. Why? Kasi ang mga perfectionist na coworkers, maganda ang resulta ng isang project. Hindi pwedeng basta-basta lang or pwede na yan. Si perfectionist, siya yung nagsasabing, hindi maganda yan. Ulitin natin yan. However, sometimes sa sobrang pagiging perfectionist, nade-delay ang isang project. Yun yung isang weakness ng isang perfectionist. So, up to the last part, halimbawa, presentation na, may gusto pa rin siyang baguhin kasi may nakikita siyang hindi pa maganda. Gusto niyang ulitin yon. And, so mamimili ka ngayon. Uulitin natin na madidelay tayo or okay na yan kasi kulang na tayo sa oras. The next type of working style is what we call as the emotional type of working style. Ito yung mga workers na medyo emotional and very expressive sila sa kanilang nararamdaman. However, they are also very supportive. So, ito yung mga kasama natin sa workplace na minsan nakikita mo na lang na umiiyak or minsan naman sobrang saya. So, makikita mo talaga kung ano yung kanyang nararamdaman. Pag nagalit siya, in-express niya, sinasabi niya, face-to-face sa kanyang kasama, o even to his boss or her boss. So these people are transparent. They have sensitive feelings and they are easily hurt. Madali silang masaktan. Kaya pag halimbawa napagalitan, medyo affected sila. And minsan makaka-apekto rin yun sa kanilang trabaho. Yun yung weak part. Pero ano ba yung positive part nung pagiging emotional employee? They are very transparent. Ibig sabihin, makikita mo kung ano yung kanyang nararamdaman at i-express niya rin kung ano yung gusto niyang sabihin. Dahil very expressive sila, nakaka-offend sila ng kanilang coworkers. Sinasabi kasi nila exactly kung ano yung kanilang nararamdaman. So, they can offend people. And hindi nila minsan nako-consider kung ano yung nararamdaman ng taong sinabihan nila. Minsan nakakagamit sila ng words na makakasakit or makaka-offend sa kanilang co-employees. However, kapag na-express nila yon, mawawala na rin yung kanilang nararamdaman na, halimbawa, kung mabigat ang loob nila sa tao, tapos nasabi nila. Since na-emotional sila, sinabi nila yon, and after nilang sabihin yon, nare-release na rin nila. The last one is what we call as the happy guy. The happy guy is a kind of worker or co-employee that is very patient. And sometimes they don't want to offend people and they want everybody to feel happy. Ito yung mga co-employees natin or co-workers natin na laging masaya. Actually, sila yung best pagdating sa sales. Why? Kasi yung amiable ang kanilang personality. Ibig sabihin, maganda silang makipag-usap sa tao. However, sometimes, this same person, they are having hard time to say no to other people. And yun yung isang negative side ng isang happy guy. Dahil gusto nilang ma-please lahat, minsan kahit hindi pwede, nahihiya silang magsabi ng no. Pumapayag sila. O sige na nga. Pero sa totoo lang, hindi siya pwede eh. So, yun yung negative side. And also, another negative side of that, minsan may problema ang organization or ang inyong team. Siyempre, kung may problema, hindi kayo masaya. Dahil gusto nyong isolve yung problema na yung na-encounter. Sometimes, the happy guy, take it lightly. Okay lang yan. Hindi problema yan. No, more on nakafocus siya dun sa okay lang lagi. Paano kung paulit-ulit? Hindi naman pwedeng okay palagi or okay kahit paulit-ulit. So, yun yung weak part ng isang happy guy. But of course, meron siyang positive side. Kailangan natin siya sa ating organization. There are 4 different working styles. And in summary, these 4 working styles have different strengths and weaknesses. It will help you identify your working styles to make necessary changes for your own personal growth. Ikaw as a person or as a worker, if you know your working style, you can adjust. Alam mo kasi yung strength mo, yung weakness mo, kailangan mag-adjust, kailangan baguhin. Now, yung working style naman ng iyong coworker, kung alam mo, mas magiging understanding ka at mas iintindihin mo sila. Actually, in reality, meron talagang combination. Meron dominant personality ang isang employee or coworker or even your supervisor. Pwede siyang doer, at the same time, emotional, yung kanyang dominant personality as a worker. Pwede rin siyang perfectionist na happy guy. So, combination. And the truth is, kailangan natin ang lahat ng working style na yan sa isang organization. A combination of all. Kailangan balanse. And kung maiintindihan natin yan, and kung tayo mismo, ma-adjust natin ang ating working style at mababalanse natin yan, mas mag-grow tayo. And if we will talk to our co-employees and understand them, or pwede rin nating sabihin, I think your working style is this, and this is your strength and weakness, ma-advise din natin sila on how they can be a better person. In summary, we talked about personal presentation, on right posture and gesture, importance of self-confidence and ways to improve it, dress to impress, and proper personal hygiene. We also talked about behavior and attitude, understanding different types of customers' personality, proper verbal and facial expression, focusing on customer response and queries, relationship with coworkers and supervisors. We also talk about keeping a positive outlook and relationship, protecting yourself from negativity, and understanding working styles. With this, I would like to thank you for taking time and participating in our personality development seminar. Have a blessed day.